Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you are calling, you are watching me from. My name is Human Steven, and this is Politics with Human Steven on Nigeria Watch YouTube channels. And like you all know, every time we come like this, we try to actually do the most we can do to talk to our people based on what is happening around us. You guys remember that a few days ago, before yesterday or so, I came out to talk about what Akin Baba, said over the presidency, and yesterday also there was a news that actually broke out as a result of the statement that was credited to Malam Nasir El-Rufai, and that very particular statement, has triggered a lot of uh, of reactions, from different quarters within the southern, part of Nigeria. Let me take you a little backward. On the 17th of May, 2021, there was a meeting that was held in Asaba, known as the Asaba Accord, where some certain decisions were taken by the certain governors, and one of the major take was the enactment of the anti-open grazing law in every of the 17 states that makes up the southern, states in Nigeria. And you all know that from the beginning of that time, there have been, a lot of brouhahas from the northern part, both within the political circle, the traditional circle, and the religion circle, all of them, kicking against the decision of the certain, governors on that very particular, ban on open grazing. And one of them was coming up to say it is just an effort in futility. They are trying to create anarchy in the country. They kind of make refuse the movement of Fulanis, which is their fundamental right, human right, according to the Constitution of Nigeria. Many other, colorations were being thrown into the ring. And while this was still going, many of the certain states like Lagos, Ondo, Ekiti, and Delta, and some other states were actually enacting a new law, to now, face up with the circumstances that they found themselves into. While some few states like Edo State and others have not actually done anything to actually address the situation. And yesterday there was a statement. Yesterday, actually, there was a statement from the governor of Kaduna State, Governor Nasir El-Rufai, who was saying that it is impossible for the certain governor to actually enforce, the open grazing law, knowing fully well to them it is not possible, it is not enactable. And when it meant that a lot of political figures within the South kept quiet, they refused to say anything. But the chairman of the Southern Governor Forum of the president of Rotimi Akeredolu, which is the governor of Ondo State, came up and said, "No, this is completely wrong. We are going to do that to protect ourselves. Are you trying to send in, terrorist emissary from the north into the south?" Don't forget, the same El-Rufai said on Tuesday or Monday when he was a guest in one of these programs that was aired at the President Villa in Abuja, that the northwest has become more like Afghanistan, where power has finally have completely crumbled, and the bandits are now taking possession of every aspect of that place. Please, guys, if you're just coming in, to join us on this show, please kindly just share the video. Thank you, guys. Kindly just share the video and let's watch and do this together. Okay, guys. So and when he said that, he said that a lot of people would have by now understood the intentions of this northern part of the country. And if you also saw yesterday or the first day, there was one of them who came up and said they are ready to hold on to power even come 2023. That they have the population, so then and the politics is a game of number. So they're ready to use the number that they have to actually get power to remain in the north. Sorry, guys. So those are things that actually have been on the burner in the Nigerian politics. Before I talked about this very particular topic, let's look at the South holistically. I have found out that the northern part of Nigeria are always aggressive towards the South, whether the political class, the religious class, the traditional class, even the pressure groups from the north are always aggressive towards the South, always aggressive towards the South. And this is becoming a little bit worrisome. They are always aggressive towards the South. The aggression is becoming conspicuous by each passing day. And some of us are becoming a little bit worried with the way and manner things are emanating. Our people are keeping quiet, not wanting to actually do anything or say anything. When that man, Akim, came up with what he said, we expected to have seen reactions from our leaders. We expect to have seen reactions from our political figures, but everybody's kind of quiet. I am very sure if such a statement was being made by a Satana, the entire social media space and all print medias and television houses would have been whitewashed by press statements, granting of interviews, and all sorts from the northern counterpart to wash down what was being said in the South. But for the certain governors or the certain leaders to do same, they're always quiet. Rather, sometimes they even try to pretend as if they didn't hear or they are afraid of replying the northern people over what they do as far as the contraction called Nigeria is concerned. And that gets me worried. People begin to blame the North for what they do. I'm always one of those who blame the certain governors or certain political leaders for the power that the North had possessed over the period of time. Because there's an adage that we believe in. If somebody is continually to oppress you and you refuse to talk back, the person will have the belief that you are afraid of him or her. And that belief will make the person to continually want to bully you until you decide to stand and defend yourself. These are things that have been on for many, 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 many years, both in our contemporary society and also outside the shore of Africa. Some countries today who are claimed to be world superpowers can be kept short when another one who they have oppressed for too long decide to rise up and speak. if the South continually refusing to speak in the face of these unwarranted provocations by the Northern counterpart, will only lead to one thing: continuous hatred and bitterness among the Southern people. I sometimes do not know what the Southerners actually needs from the Northern counterpart that is making them scared of speaking to power. Someone will just wake up from his bed and continually threatening you as a people. He will just wake up, go on a news media and threaten the existence of a state. And the Southerners are not reading meanings, knowing fully well. I'm not against Islam, guys. But we know fully well that Islam is one religion that respects their leaders, politically their spiritual leaders or religious leaders. And we know that most of these people who speaks on behalf of these very particular people are actually spiritual leaders, whom they listen to very much. How can a governor of a state, telling another governor that the law you've enacted in your state cannot stand? A governor of a state telling another sitting governor that the law you just enacted in your state against his people cannot stand. When some of us speaks, it will look as if we are the one that actually do not know what is happening. How can someone say the law you enacted cannot stand as a result of the law was enacted without the consent of another people who are more like immigrants in your state? Because today, the system operated in Nigeria today is independent federating units, where your state of origin belongs to you. Any other person coming into your state of origin is an immigrant or is a foreigner. We have not actually got to the point where you now have what we call the federal identity in any part of the country. There is no federal identity yet, so we are still working on ethnicity and ethnical basis as far as the Nigerian system is concerned. Like I've said many times on this show, the North promulgate laws. I remember in 1999 to 2003, to 2003 to 2004, under the regime of General Olusegun Obasanjo, Zamfara State started the Sharia law. When the South wanted to speak, they came up and said, listen guys, shut up. This is our land. We decide how we rule our people. You have no choice either to stay here and follow the rules or leave our land. And the southern counterpart kept quiet. They didn't say anything anymore. Few years back, under Kokoso, Kano State began the ASPA Sharia police, whose major job, is to destroy the businesses of the Southern Nigerians. Don't forget, the Southern Nigerians are the ones that are actually doing business like hotels, restaurants, bars, beer parlors, importation of alcoholic drinks, etc., etc. They've decided to completely shut down these businesses in Kano based on a law that was enacted by the Kano State governor. Okay, guys. So now, when the South makes a law, the North will rightly tell them this law is not going to work. And the Southern governors will bow down. They will refuse to speak out. But that is not always the case when the North makes a law. The South speaks, did not tell them this is our region. We decide what we want to do with our region. You guys have no reason of prognosing into our affairs. My question to our certain politician is this: where did we actually get it wrong? Can this mistake be corrected in this lifetime? How are we going to get our dignity back as a people? Have we sold out completely to our oppressors? Or as our leaders have finally succumbed to the ideology of Ahmadu Bello and Usman Danfodio? Which says after the 1960 independence, when Ahmadu Bello was asked some questions, he said Nigeria is an estate that belongs to Usman Danfodio, and the South is a conquered territory. In the statement that was accredited to Assam, he said they were trained. They were trained to rule Nigeria. So he was trying to say it is not even a gainsay that the ruling of Nigeria is a thing that they were trained to do. So they can only give because of their benevolency and their humility other tribes in Nigeria to govern Nigeria. I thought with the hell of that statement, the South would have been engulfed with rage from the political, religious, and traditional cycle. But still, I see the South be quiet, calm. And these people are taking the simplicity of the Southern Nigeria for granted. It's becoming disheartening that the disunity of the South has now become an advantage for an oppression of the caliphate who want to continually hold on to the corridor of power. The southern Nigeria have so much diminished themselves that they are not being used as a bargaining tool for a failed and inconsequential government in power. That is why, if you are a social media presenter and you are from the South, it is high time we throw away all our differences and begin to speak in favor of your territory now that we have the time. I just saw on the Kola Adokpayi's wall that Benin and Road had been taken over by Fulani herders. I want to ask again simple question to my governor, Governor Nasir El-Rufai. What are you waiting for? Anytime I speak over the inability of the governor to protect lives and property in Edo State, I'm always being called out by both the opposition and the people in the corridor of power, saying that the opposition are saying I'm crying wolves right now that I actually supported your candidacy. Sir, with all due respect, our reason of supporting you is because of what we saw in you. Or maybe you were able to prove to us that you can change the status quo. You showed us, a master plan on what Edo can become again. On what Edo can become again. And we all took that in and we started working with you. But unfortunately, there are some things that is not working well, particularly the insecurity situation on our highways along, the Benin geographical or the Edo geographical locations, where we know the people who are perpetrating this evil are of the Fulani extraction. I want to say what somebody told me yesterday, guys. Why people are saying, why are the Benin boys or the Benin men not going to the forests to actually attack these people? I saw that on Kola Adokpayi's wall today. He said we need to do the DNA to actually check the kind of men that are in Benin right now. When I saw that chart, I smiled, I laughed. Do you know why? I'm going to explain a little bit to you guys. A friend that was kidnapped by these herders along Benin Road, immediately after a haul, some 2 weeks back, gave a narration after he was released. I'm going to share that with us. In this narration, he said these guys are actually of the Fulani extraction. He said 1 or 2 of them can speak Pidgin English. Others only speak the Fufuda language. Just 1 or 2 of them that can speak Pidgin English. Other of them speak the Fufuda language. That shows many of them are not Fulani of the Nigeria extraction. Okay, guys? He said when they were picked up, while they were taking them to their camp in the forest, on the valley, they saw where they left their cows. They said the cows of about 200 or so cows. He said anytime he hears the movement of so very many people, because they are in the valley, the cows are on the hills. See what they do, they quickly dressed up in their elders, attires. And some of them will go up and start taking the cows as if they are feeding the cows in the forest. So when they see that everywhere is calm, they will leave the cow again and come down into the valley. And I sat down, I started thinking, what do they actually mean by that action or that style they were approaching on? Then I came to understand that the reason why they do what they do is because there is no proper law that have been enacted in Edo to stop the open movement of cattle from one location in the state to another. And they know by the law, which is on ground, if you, peradventure, for whatsoever reason, decided to attack them, you would have definitely gone against the law. Because if you do not see them destroying your farm, then you saw them with sophisticated weapons and you attack them, the police will come after you. The armies will come to that village and burn it down. There are people who are in the army and the police, in the DSS, and other, military, formations in Nigeria will come hard on that community that killed a Fulani man who is an elder. So, but the moment a law is not being enacted, then they are not being prohibited from openly grazing on any part of the state. That will eventually gives everyone who sees a Fulani man or any elder for that matter grazing on the streets, in our forests, on the road, without not being confined to a location that was bought or earmarked for that purpose, you will not have the right to take some certain decisions that even the police will not be able to save them. So now that the governor of Edo State have not actually done anything, because we were told that the law was supposed to be done last week, we've not heard anything. We're told that the commissioner list was supposed to come out this week. We've not done. Tuesday's passed. Wednesday's passed. Ferres, you said that on your wall. We believed you. We are waiting for it. We've not gotten any right now. We've not heard anything. And even yesterday, we actually, listen, guys, I'm coming there. Let me just take this a little bit. Now you will see that's why our youth cannot be able to fight those elders or those kidnappers in our forests. Because the moment you are coming in, they come with their cows to deceive the people. So it becomes very difficult for you to see a Fulani man who with a cow and just a cutlass and a stick parading in your forest. You want to arrest him? You can't. Do you know why? Because there is no law that is prohibiting him in our domain not to graze openly. That's why some of us are crying. That's why some of us are asking the government of the day to please do the needful. Save lives. We hear rather than Benin Abba Road now, it has become everyday reoccurrence. People are being kidnapped on daily basis on the houses of Benin. Now they built another camp on the other side, knowing fully well that many people have abandoned the Benin Ochi road for them. They're not taking another route out from the other side, and they have gone to waylay these people on the other side of the city. Like I said yesterday, we don't need roads anymore. We don't need light anymore. Just protect the lives and properties of those people using our highways. Protect the lives of our people on our highways, by enacting the anti-grazing law, just like every other states are doing. And see what the Edo boys can do. We are fearless people, but we believe also in law and order. You see, since this vigilante came into existence in Benin, there have been a drastic reduction in crime within the Benin metropolis. We can't pretend. These guys, they are taking the South for granted. Listen, if even we want to have a Nigeria, we want to be together, we must be together based on consensus. We must be together based on equality. We must be together based on certain agreements that both sides need to agree upon. Not one side believing they are more superior than the other. My problem with the North of Nigeria is because many of the leaders of the North believes that they are more superior than the South. They believe in that ideology of Usman Danfodio and Amadou Bello, which is not being promoted or being executed by General Muhammadu Buhari in this 21st century, pushing a supremacy agenda against other parts of the federating unit. They are taking from Peter to pay Paul. Yet they treat Peter as if Peter is inconsequential. And Peter is becoming so weak that he's unable to actually speak anymore. That is eating deep down, breaking our heart. Those of us who actually see things from a very clear perspective. And I'll be asking some questions. Why are certain leaders becoming axe lickers of the northern people? Why are certain leaders becoming an axe licker to the northern caliphate? It's unfortunate that those of us who speaks, but we don't have the power. We can be picked up at any time. We can disappear in the twinkle of an eye. But those that have the political will and political power to defend the collective dignity and integrity and territorial, region of the South, they're the one who are actually licking the hearts of these people. Making us constantly look like a bunch of zombies. who are being controlled by some spiritual forces. I think it is high time that with the certain states start cities from a very different perspective. I saw yesterday there was a video that was playing, that Tinubu is the man we know and all that and that. Guy, I don't give a hoot who becomes the next president. But I want to ask a question: how can you rule a nation like Nigeria that have been 70 or 80 steps backward? If even Tinubu comes today, what is he going to do? Is he going to come back again and pay the debt? If you watch Nigeria today, guys, they not always hit us on a debt. They put us into debt. That's what it did not do. They take so much money from external forces. They will use our oil in the south to borrow money because they have nothing. They will use our oil in the south to borrow money from external forces. They will heap the debt on us, but they will use the money borrowed with our resources to develop the north. When they do one road or one bridge in the south, our certain political leaders will start seeking their praises. But the many things they do, none of even the northern political leader comes out to talk about it. They don't talk about it. See, most of those things you see in the north, it's not even the state government that are doing it. 6.5 billion was given to Kano State to set up a ranch. 6.5 billion. Which state has the highest level of insecurity or farmer elders classes, as it's been called in the Federation? Was it not Benue? But Benue wasn't given. Because there's this idea of taking money, using our money in our resources in the south to put as a collateral, to take a loan and invest that loan in the north. Listen, guys, like I said, I am not asking for breakup, but Nigeria is already planning for a breakup. The North are already warming up for a breakup. So they are doing everything to put the certain state whose resources was used as a mortgage to take loan from these people. And when there is anything like breakup, we have to bear the burden. Because our collateral are what was used as a means of getting loans. But our certain governors and political leaders are not even seeing some of these things that we see. The reasons sometimes it baffles me. I want to know why. But I've not been able to actually get that clearly. Now, the government is going to borrow some billions of dollars and millions of euros from international market. And River State, who is the highest producer of crude oil in Nigeria, does not have a project from that money. 80% of the project from the money that will be borrowed is going to a region that does not contribute a kobo to the federal purse. When they was talking about VAT, the value of the tax issue, Lagos and Rivers, I expected the other states in the south to join. But Governor was saying that they don't get VAT in the state. And I looked at him and said, is this serious? And Igbo state, where about all the companies that is in Ebonyi? Don't they pay tax? Don't they pay tax to him? If he doesn't have any money in Ebonyi, then the governor must be a very lazy governor and he needs to get off the seat. I will not support what is wrong because it benefits my state. Like I've said before, the government of Edo need to wake up, smell the fish, and derive other means of raising money. We never even knew that this group of governors in Nigeria gets as high as 22 billion as of Edo State on yearly basis on VAT from the federal government. We never even knew. We never even knew. This money is not even part of the allocation that comes from the federal government to them on monthly basis. Now I begin to wonder, what is the problem? Why are these governors not being productive and proactive? What is making these governors to perpetually remain unproductive in the face of a 21st century government? When they are campaigning, making promises upon promises, have they been able to sit down? How am I going to generate the fund to actually run this very particular promise that I'm making today? They have not been able to do that. So today, after the last election of Edo State, I have come to the conclusion that any man that wants to govern my state must tell us, you don't promise me what you're going to do. If you promise me you're going to build a refinery, you must put pari passu how you're going to generate the money to build the refinery. If you promise you're going to do roads in all the wards in the state, you must tell me how you're going to raise the fund to do the roads. We are tired of empty promises, doing nothing, but yes, making bogus promises, which you know deep down in your heart you cannot be able to actualize. Why are leaders quiet? Why are they scared of speaking out, particularly the certain governors? This is a question that is begging for answer. Why have they become dormant in the face of provocations, in the face of verbal oppression from their counterpart in the north? Few people like Governor Rotimi Akeredolu and the Governor Wike are the two guys in the whole of the south who actually, had the balls to speak against the inhuman treatment being meted out to the Southerners as a result of this lopsidedness constitution called the 1999 constitution that has put the Nigerian system on an auto reverse without no stop. How can a federating unit who has its own state house of assembly, known by law, will make a law in their own state, and the federal government will say those laws are ineffective, they are not possible, they are not workable in this dispensation? And I thought that people who actually understood what the federating unit is, what the federal system of government is, to have challenged the statement of the Attorney General of the Federation and the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in a competent court of jurisdiction or law, but they won't. The reason is, I don't know. Is it because of their political ambition? I don't know. How can you govern people who are scared? I don't know. The government is spending billions of naira today to look for grazing route. When the South are saying we must end open grazing, the president is saying, I'm going to look for grazing route where the cows can pass through. What is the difference between a grazing route where they don't have a confined area where they stay, they're going to be moving around through a certain part, that's still defined open grazing, which the Southern government is actually engaged. But they say nothing, they do nothing, guys. I'm worried. I'm worried, guys. I'm worried, guys. I'm worried, guys. I just believe that our leaders in the South will start thinking and start acting the right way. So right here, this is the statement from Governor Rotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State. Its reply was El-Rufai sending bandits, killer Herdsmen to destabilize the southern Nigeria, Akeredolu. This was on the 23rd of September 2021. It is a clearly crafted path towards replicating in the South the most despicable situation in the North that Nigeria of goodwill daily pray to overcome. The Ondo State governor said in a statement, this is a ploy beyond the ordinary. You know, this guy become so bold in the last few months. He has become a voice in the Southwest. He has become a voice after Governor Wike of Rivers State. He speaks with so much boldness now, you know, confronting everything that is anti-South. And I expected others, just the way it is happening in the North, other political actors to support him, but yes, no, they never do that. Governor Rotimi Akeredolu on Wednesday accused Governor Nasir El-Rufai of plotting to devastate southern part of Nigeria by shipping armed bandit and killer Herdsmen to undermine the law against open grazing of cattle now widely adopted by states across the region. It is clearly crafted path towards replicating in the South and the most despicable situation in the North that Nigerians of goodwill daily pray to overcome, the Ondo State governor said in a statement. It is a ploy beyond the ordinary. So this is a man speaking with so much confidence, boldness, not be afraid of what is going to happen. These are people we need in the South right now, who can stand, defend themselves at every point in time to make sure that the Nigerian state is not being sold off like Jesus was sold by Judas Iscariot for 30 pieces of silver. Mr. Akeredolu was pushing back against Mr. El-Rufai's comment on Tuesday, in which the Kaduna governor excoriated certain governors as playing to the gallery. Can you imagine that? A governor is telling another governor that they are playing to the gallery by instituting laws banning armed Herdsmen of predominantly northern Fulanis origin from open grazing their livestock. Now, we had a show yesterday here on this show. And on that show, we openly said that we want to go into massive commercial farming in the South, particularly in Edo State, calling on the diasporans. But what did we say? We said we're going to buy lands to be used for our businesses, not to depend on the state government or the federal government, or to walk into someone else's property and create havoc because we want to become a farmer. Bandit Nasir El-Rufai knew this. Because today, Kaduna State is ungovernable. Half of the state is in the possession of the bandits and the kidnappers and the terrorist Boko Harams. He knew what is happening in the southern Kaduna between the southern Kadunans and these Fulani herders who have continually created a genocidal situation in the south of Kaduna State. This man had not been able to bring complete normalcy to his state. This man had witnessed continuous kidnapping of school children in Kaduna State. In the last few months, there have been massive, kidnapping of children from schools within the Kaduna metropole and every other, surroundings of Kaduna. This El-Rufai today, who is speaking today, have not been able to do anything to end the menace of insecurity that is ravaging the state, but they are quick to throw mouth to a government or to a state or a people or a region who is doing everything to reduce the fingerprint of the atrocity being committed by his king's men, who are predominantly herders. They've not really condemned in any form or any ways the atrocity being committed by their king's men on the soil of the southern Nigerians. Rather, at every given point in time, this bunch of bloodsuckers are always willing to defend their people, even when they know what their people is doing in the south can never be think of, not talk of being executed in the northern part of Nigeria, with your head still being on your shoulder. And I will expect our political leaders who are the power, who are the platform to speak to them for them to hear. They're always on the quiet part. That has been really getting me pissed off, not knowing what is making them to look as if speaking against what they say is becoming an issue. Then I move on. I say, Mr. El-Rufai, who spoke at an economic policy event organized by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo at the State House, Abuja, said certain governors know they cannot enforce a ban on open grazing and should stop their populist efforts. That was a statement. And I expected by now the entire state governor would have made the statement against Nasir El-Rufai. But no. The question I want to ask these northerners are this: are they really happy with what their region are turned into? I don't know. Please, can somebody help me? Are they really happy with what their region are turned into of late? Please, and I want somebody to help me out. Are these guys really happy with what their region are turned into of late? Kidnapping, senseless killing, raping, maiming, destruction of lives, destruction of properties, turning a community into a desert. Are they really happy, or is that what their religion tests them to do? I can't understand. Why a man whose house is burning is going to someone else's house who just have a smoke to say, oh God, you know, see smoke, they come out for inside your house. Their house is on fire. Their community is on fire. Bandits are taking over. Listen, bandits are taking over the entire communities in the north, from Sokoto to Zamfara, to Kaduna, to Kano, to Katsina, to Borno, to Yobe, to Niger. All this area have been completely taken over by Fulanis. They are immense. They are in total ruins. But yet, they are quick to poke nose into the affairs of a certain state. And I expect the Southerners, particularly the political leaders, to be speaking, but we don't see them talk. What is unhelpful is the politicizing of the situation, which legislation that you know you cannot implement, Mr. El-Rufai said. It's not a matter of populist legislation or saying tomorrow this or that. You see the goals that this will have. You are challenging an independent constituency. So that I pity the South, I swear. This is a sitting governor challenging another sitting governor. Both of you have the same constitutional right. Because of the weakness, because of the feebleness of the certain politicians, they not accept them as a second-class citizen in the country where they are supposed to be the boss. And they are continually accepting that very particular position, all because of greed and political correctness. The comments elicited widespread outrage from the southern state, and Mr. Akeredolu, as the chairman of Southern Governors, quickly fired back at his Kaduna counterpart, saying his comment bore the making of a call to anarchy. And I expected, if you watch right now, when the political and the cultural leader speaks, number one is the cultural leader and the cultural leader speaks in the north, you always think they speak for themselves. But when you hear the governors, the political leaders speak, you know that actually they always have a meeting to say the South can never be free. One minute. Yeah, hello. Yeah, I'm on the line now, please. I'll call you back later. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying now? They will tell that the line can never, they don't believe that it can never work. So for emphasis, any such comment like that of the Kaduna governor, if indeed he made that statement, merely seek to encourage anarchy under the guise of resettlement of the law by affected stakeholders. Mr. Akeredolu said in a statement signed by his Information Commissioner, Donald Oyogo, from all indications, Governor El-Rufai, if he was properly quoted and his view not misrepresented, is struggling hard to export banditry to the South under an expressed opinion that is laced with mischief. Perhaps it is up to state clearly that the last of Governor El-Rufai are already in a eccentric mode of escalating and indeed externalizing banditry, especially as the military outlaws against criminals elements and other terror variants in the north, the statement added. Which is true. If we don't ban this open grazing in the south, many of these criminals are going to steal some cows and bring them to the south and start acting as cattle herders, living in our forests, without permission, without proper documentation, and creating unnecessary havoc that will not destroy the fabrics of a sane society. Mr. Akeredolu says certain states, especially Ondo, will not back down on anti-open grazing legislation to assure northern interests like Mr. El-Rufai. The anti-grazing law, especially in Ondo State, has come to stay, he said. It shall be zealously guarded and conscionably deployed to protect all residents of the state, notwithstanding their ethnic and religion basis. Those who have nothing evil to perpetrate have nothing to fear as regards the law. This is the major thing I've been saying. What are they not afraid of concerning the open grazing law? Why are they vehemently against it? If actually they have nothing to worry about, if they actually have nothing to fear, why are they afraid? A spokesperson of Mr. El-Rufai did not return a request seeking comment. Mr. Akeredolu had previously confronted President Muhammadu Buhari and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, over their statement disparaging its directive against Fulani occupations of Ondo states. Certain states like Benue, Ebonyi, Akwa Ibom, Ogun, Ondo, Lagos, Ekiti have all passed legislations to curb nomadic herdsmen who have been blamed for killing thousands of villagers across the region in a push to seize their fertile lands. Northern politicians, however, argued that passing a law to restrict the movement of Fulani citizens was a violation of the Nigerian constitution that guaranteed the fundamental rights of all citizens to move and live anywhere within the country's borders. Now, I have asked this question on several occasions. I've had this question on several occasions. Can we, the Southerners, go to the north today to actually start off a pig farm? Can we, the Southerners, an Igbo man, go to the north today and just clear a portion of land on the street and set up his shop there and begin to sell? But our Southern governors or counterparts don't even know what to say. Can we do that? In this dispensation, in this contraction? I think the answer is no. When people begin to speak things that is contrary to what is actually being, why aren't we speaking? Why are they start keeping quiet? Why are leaders not doing anything to salvage the already battered image of the Southern people? They've not actually seen us as weaklings. That is why even when you make a law, a governor of a state will tell you the law you made in the state cannot stand. But they don't seek your advice when they decide to make a law in their own domains. I don't know what Obaseki is waiting for. I don't know what Imo State Governor said he's not going to enact any law. Anyways, he has said that. The Supreme Court Governor said that it is not ready to enact any law anymore. So he said he let all the Fulanis, elders, let them come to Imo. He has already said that. I don't know what the Cross River State Governor is doing. Not to have enacted the law. I don't also know what did that say governor they are still on their own. I don't know why the law haven't been signed in, the bill hasn't been signed into law. Or your state, I don't know why. It's high time we wake up and smell the coffee. We are at the verge of collapsing the South if we are not careful. They are pushing us beyond boundaries. They want to test our ability to withstand operations. And the moment we refuse to fight back, they will take advantage of it to bring us to our knees. Know one thing, with what is happening in the north today, and the northern legislatures and the governors are still very comfortable to tell you that they strive in the midst of anarchy. Believe it or not, guys, that was to tell you if even the Nigerian state is engulfed in war today, it is just part of the life that they live. It is part of the religion that they actually practice. They've been living on it. They've been living with the war for over 12 years now. They don't actually care. It has not become part and parcel of them. It is we in the South who are not actually witnessed war, except the one we witnessed during the 67 to 70 Civil War. But these guys have been in war for 12 years. That is a war zone. Where you're not even sure if you're leaving home. You're going to come back home alive. That is a war zone. That is what happened during a war situation. So if the entire South is engulfed in war, it will give them joy. It will give them so much joy and peace that we are now just like them. But the moment we keep quiet and say, I beg, it doesn't matter. We are collecting peanuts. The work that will be destroyed. If peradventure the nation is engulfed in flame, what are we going to do? The political leaders who are afraid of losing the wealth that you have stolen from the South. Do you know you only enjoy your wealth when there is peace? If you take your money away from Nigeria, you're going to seek asylum elsewhere. And the truth of the matter is this, you can't live the life you live in Nigeria abroad. Because you can't even pay. No matter how wealthy you were in Africa, if you go to abroad, you can't live the life you live in Nigeria abroad, where you have, domestic staffs everywhere. Even someone has to clean your bumble when you are finished toileting. You can pay for them. You'll be broke overnight. So start thinking. Start thinking right now. How can we bring peace? How can we make sure that the South is not engulfed in war like the North? It's for all the Southern states to enact the law and unanimously stays together to make sure they extradite every Fulani man who refuses to embrace the new ranching system in the South back to the North. Let me tell you guys, what the North have been using against the South is a divide and rule system. I can tell you from 1960 to date. Like I said it before, in some of my stories, in 1956, when Chief Antonio Naro of Blessed Memory, the Lord for Rome, raised a motion for independence of Nigeria in 1957. That was the first time the entire South were in unity. And they defeated the North. In that story, in that history, it was said, and the parliamentarians who have the Northern extraction walked out of the parliament. They said the South should go. That was when the Southerners made a mistake. They said the South should go, that they are not ready to follow the South. The South can get independent as their own state. Why the North will still remain who they are under the British government until they are ready. Now, when the North went back, the Southerners went to them in the North, in Kano, to persuade them. That's why the North now agreed that they can get independent in 1959. So the South came back, and the South got their independent. The Southwest, the South is got their independent in 1957. So when people says Nigeria got independent in 1960, it was the North that actually got independent in 1960. If you check it from the entire system, the South had their independence of self-governing in 1957 as a protectorate, or as a region, sorry now, or a province. Now, in 1959, the North decided now to be self-independent in preparation of the 1960. Now, in 1960, the divide and rule system came, which the British thought the Northerners between 1956 went to them because the British was not actually happy with the motion that was raised by Anti-grazing. The truth of the matter is, go ask anybody, the British was actually forced out of Nigeria in 1960. They weren't willing to live yet. At the time the British was leaving Nigeria, they actually discovered oil at Oloibiri. And that's also one of the reasons why the Nigerian, indigenes actually want to force them out of Nigeria, because they know fully well, having discovered such a mine gold, as at that time oil was the god of the world, they would have not left Nigeria even up to tomorrow. We would have been like South Africa. Okay? Now, because of that motion that was raised by Antonio, they were mad. They were mad, not happy. So they went to train the North on the divide and rule system they used in conquering, territories during their colonial exploits. Before 1959, guys, before 1956, when that motion was raised, the North had no idea of what governance is all about. Between 1956, 57, 58, and 59, which is a space of 3 years, the colonial master taught them the modus of operandis of colonialism. So what you see today, the North does, is a neo-colonialism. They see the South, just like Ahmadu Bello said, they see the South as a conquered territory, We are still under a colonial system of government. That was what? Excuse me, guys. 1 minute. Hello, guys. I think I need to off this show right now. I'm going to come back for part two. There's an issue I need to deal with right away. Please, guys, just give me a few minutes. I'm going to be back again to continue with this show. Thank you very much, guys. Please, I need to go now so that I can deal with this issue and return back shortly. So just stay tuned while I return back. Thank you very much, guys.